The story starts with the main lead saying, "You remember the last clause of our marriage contract, don't you? This marriage will be over in 1 year's time. And today is the last day of that period. So, just as our contract states, let's get divorced, Duke Decius," Carrion replied. "You want me to sign these divorce papers? I already have, so all we need is your signature, Your Grace," Ione thought. "It's been exactly a year since I married Carrion. Today, I'm going to get a divorce so that I don't die. We've made so many memories, but my survival is more important. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. I finally got used to this place, so it feels like home now. It is a shame that I have to leave, huh?" "Your Grace?" Ione gasped. "Why are you ripping those papers?" Carrion declared. "I will never write nor sign such papers," Ione panicked, thinking. "What the hell is he saying? Why won't you grant me a divorce?" Carrion said. "I shall not. You will never be able to leave me. For I have now come to harbor feelings for you," Ione shouted. "Excuse me?" Carrion continued. "So I do hope you give up on divorcing me," Ione, shocked, thought. Has he lost his mind? "What's with the sudden confession?" Ione said. "But that's a breach of contract, Your Grace." "We agreed that if one of us breaches the contract," Carrion interrupted, "there would be a hefty fee to pay, yes. I can pay you that fee right away. Would you like one of the mansions I own to start with?" Ione responded. "Excuse me?" Carrion explained. "Once I pay you the compensation fee, our marriage contract is nullified. So never bring up divorce again, all right? You just said that this manor feels like home now, didn't you? You'll be able to stay here. Forever," Ione repeated. Forever? Yeah, right, Edwin cried. "Mother!" Ione turned shocked. "Edwin?" Edwin pleaded. "Please, Mother, please don't get a divorce. If you do, I'm leaving with you," Ione asked. What do you mean? You're the successor of House Decius. You have to stay here," Edwin shouted. "No. I don't want to stay here without you," Edwin asked. "Do you not want to take me with you because I'm not your real son?" Ione replied. "What? Don't say that, Edwin," Edwin begged. "Then please don't go, Mother, please. You won't leave me behind, will you?" Carrion chuckled. Ione shouted. "Pfft, why are you laughing?" Carrion said. "Ione, even Edwin is against this. Must you really leave the two of us behind?" Ione, confused, thought. "Why is this happening? Don't tell me this is because I didn't act like the villainess in the novel. I didn't expect Carrion and Edwin to both be against this. The day I decided to get a divorce in order to avoid ending up dead, the men of House Decius started getting in my way." Ione wazed on. She was a character in the romance fantasy novel titled Please Take Care of the Young Master. She was selfish, greedy, and a typical villainess who took pleasure in tormenting people. The story began with Carrion Decius, the male lead, marrying Ione, the villainess. And the reason the two of them got married, it was all because of his nephew. In his will, the late Duke Schumann Decius had asked Lord Carrion to adopt his child, who had been sent to an orphanage. But according to imperial law, a man had to be married in order to adopt a child. However, Lord Carrion was himself an illegitimate son, born to a lowly maid, so no noblewoman was willing to marry him. He wouldn't have even been allowed to join House Decius in the first place if he hadn't volunteered to go to war in the former duke's stead. He might have been a war hero, but what self-respecting noblewoman would want to marry someone like him? It really showed just how desperate House Waysden must have been, especially considering how proud they were. Then again, their family had been ruined, so they didn't have much of a choice. "Oh yes, I heard," one gossiper exclaimed. "Bacchus, the patriarch, passed away and left them with his enormous gambling debt, didn't he? I don't know if Ione Waysden is capable of being a good wife," another added. "I just hope that awful woman doesn't torment the poor child." It had really just been a marriage of convenience. But when Carrion refused to acknowledge her properly, Ione took out all her anger on Edwin, tormenting him in secret and abusing him for her own entertainment. That was when Sarah Galicia, the female lead of the novel, made her entrance. She becomes Edwin's tutor and gains favor with Carrion and her student before she witnesses Ione's abuse and tries to expose the villainess. But once Ione realized that Sarah had found out the truth, she attempted to poison her. The plan failed. Her villainy was exposed, and Ione was thrown into jail, where she ultimately met her death. That was the fate of Ione Waysdon, the villainess. Edwin, in a flashback, once asked softly, "Pardon me, mother, what if I didn't marry Duke Decius?" Ione thinking, it's also the fate that I, having been reincarnated as Ione Waysdon, will have to face. Ione's mother, what are you saying? Out the mother shouted. You don't want to get married? The Duke has already paid off all of our debt. You can't change your mind now. I'll come up with the money somehow. So please, Ione asked. How in the world would you be able to come up with that much money within a month? Mother replied. Don't you remember? Those unable to pay their debts work hard labor. I have no intention of becoming a slave, Ione's mother interrupted. But enough. He said he would arrive in the afternoon, but that is barely enough time for you to get ready. Just how much have you had to drink? Pathetic. Why did you have to be born as my daughter and make my life so difficult? Ione's mother caught herself. Oops, oh, never mind. It's nothing. I shouldn't speak to the future Duchess like that. In any case, hurry up and get ready, Ione thought. I guess she's pretending to be nice to me because she sold me off. If I wanted to pay off that debt with hard labor, getting paid less than minimum wage, I'd have to at least win the lottery, huh? But this would make things no different from my past life. I was abandoned as a baby, grew up lonely, and faced a lot of hardship. When I finally left the orphanage, I told myself, you'll always be alone in life, so money is your best friend. With that motto in mind, I spent half of my 20s diligently earning money until I was able to finally make a down payment on a small apartment for myself. I finally have my own home. But on the happiest day of my life, I was hit by a car. And when I came to, I had become Ione Waysdon. I am glad that Ione's memories all came flooding back. But the fact that I'll have to bust my butt for the rest of my life remains unchanged. I don't want to live like a slave either. That means this marriage is inevitable. But I don't want to meet the same end as Ione did in the novel. What can I do to avoid dying like that? I need to think. Though she does also get blamed for things she didn't actually do, the original Ione ended up dying alone in a dungeon cell as a consequence of her evil actions. I should be fine if I don't end up imprisoned. What exactly was it that she did to land herself in jail? She abused Edwin. Wait, but that means my chances of dying will decrease if I don't act like a villainess, right? If I treat Edwin well and divorce the Duke so I can be gone by the time the female lead arrives, wouldn't that mean that I won't die like the real Ione did? Okay. I'll just be a good person instead of the villainous Ione Waysdon used to be. I'll become a loving duchess who raises her stepson as though he were her own. But wait, I feel like I'm forgetting something I was supposed to be doing, the servant said. Decius Manor. You will be signing the contract with House Waysdon today, Your Grace. You must get ready to leave, Carrion said. All right.